Recruitment and selection. Recruitment means searching candidates for employment and attracting them to apply for jobs in the organization. Selection involves a series of steps in which most suitable candidates are screened for vacancy and then later invited for interviews. In this job advertisement, organization is hiring for sales officer's position. This means recruitment activity has been initiated by this organization. Selection process starts after receiving all the relevant CVs and documents. In this job advertisement, the last date to apply was May 15, 2018. This means organization will start screening the CVs after the deadline, or recruitment staff can screen the CVs on daily basis until the deadline. It depends on the recruitment officer, how to screen CVs. Sources of recruitment are internal source and external source. Internal sources of recruitment. This refers to the recruitment from within the company. Various internal sources are promotions, transfer, internal job advertisement. Promotion means an employee is promoted to a new job with higher grade and salary, from his or her current job. Transfer means an employee is transferred from his or her current job to a new job but salary, benefits and grade will remain the same. Internal job advertisement means organization will advertise job for the current staff members. They can apply for the job if they qualify the criteria. Advantages of internal sources are: candidate strengths and weaknesses are known to organization. Personality and skill level of the candidate is known. Increased employee morale. Less training and orientation required. Culture, policy and procedures is known to the candidate. Reduces recruitment cost and time. Disadvantages of internal sources are: failed applicants may become dissatisfied. Time wasted on interviewing candidates results in loss of staff work. It will lack diversity, where people from different background and new ideas are ignored. External sources of recruitment. This refers to the practice of attracting suitable candidates from outside of the organization. Various external sources are recruitment agencies, management consulting agencies, walk-in candidates, university campus recruitment, job advertisements, hiring through employee referrals. Recruitment agencies are very beneficial because they have profiles of large number of candidates. They arrange candidates in less time and saves time. Recruitment agencies charge fee as per agreement with the organization. Management consulting agencies help recruiting management, technical and professional level placements. They are contacted to recruit mid-level to senior level key positions. Walk-in candidates are beneficial because candidates contact the recruiter directly for a concerned job position. If their CVs and data is stored appropriately, it can help in reducing advertisement and recruitment agency cost. Recruiters can contact the applicant whenever they have any vacancy. University campus recruitment is beneficial for hiring fresh graduates. Many organizations partner with universities and vocational institutes, which helps them to recruit high-performing students, which reduces cost and time. Employee referrals is very beneficial. Current working employees refer candidates, which has many benefits. It takes less time to hire, reduces employment cost, referred employees likely to work for a long time in company. Advantages of external sources are: large number of people from outside can apply, providing wider options. Outside talent can bring new ideas and experiences to the organization. Existing staff will work harder to compete with outside candidates. Qualified candidates. Disadvantages of external sources are: it takes longer to source candidates from outside. Cost of advertisement or agency is higher as compared to internal sources. Burden of processing applications can be time-consuming. Internal staff may become dissatisfied, they may feel their chances of promotion are no more. Alternatives to recruitment. Alternatives to recruitment are overtime, outsourcing, temporary or contractual employment. Organization can offer overtime to staff to work extra time and get the job done. Organization can outsource the entire work to a company, which saves time and reduces cost. Organization can hire people for limited time period. These types of employment are temporary or contractual. Before proceeding to alternatives, cost, time, privacy and business goals of the organization should be considered. If the job is for long run, it is better to offer permanent employment. Interviews. An interview is a face-to-face meeting in which information is exchanged. No selection process is complete without one or more interviews. Interview is the most common and core method of obtaining information from job seekers and decision-making on their suitability. Types of interviews. Selection interview. A selection procedure designed to get information from applicant, judge skills and knowledge, and make selection decision. This type of interview is conducted for recruitment and selection, and selecting team or committee members. Appraisal interview, a discussion following performance appraisal in which supervisor and employee discuss the employee's rating and possible remedial actions. This type of interview is conducted for performance appraisal discussion. Exit interview. An interview to obtain information from the employee who is leaving the organization. In this interview, information is collected about company, culture, supervisor, job of the employee. This type of interview is conducted when an employee leaves the organization. Unstructured interview. In this type of interview, discussion is open-ended. Interviewer can ask any question from the interviewee. This technique can be used in any type of interview. Structured interview. In this type of interview, the interviewer asks a series of questions from the interviewee. This technique can be used in any type of interview. Situational interview. A series of job-related questions that focus on how the candidate would behave in each situation. This technique is used to explore decision-making, problem-solving and analytical skills of an applicant. An interviewer may present a hypothetical situation to the interviewee, and will ask from the interviewee how he or she will respond in that type of situation. Behavioral interview. A series of job-related questions that focus on how the interviewee reacted to actual situation in the past. This technique is used to explore knowledge, skills and abilities of an applicant. An interviewer may ask about real-life past situation from the interviewee, and how the interviewee responded in that situation. Stress interview. A type of interview in which the interviewer put the interviewee under extreme pressure to assess the stress level. This technique is used for jobs which requires to maintain high level of stress. Examples are sales manager, stockbrokers, senior executives. Tips to conduct an effective interview. Structure your interview. Base questions on actual job duties. Use job knowledge, situational, behavioral-oriented questions and objective criteria to evaluate the interviewee's responses. Train the interviewers. Use the same questions with all candidates. Use a standardized interview form. Use descriptive rating scales to rate answers. Use multiple interviewers or panel interviews. Control the interview and take brief notes during the interview. Prepare for the interview. Secure a private room to minimize interruptions. Review candidate's application and CV. Review the position job specification. Introduce yourself to the interviewee. Make a list of questions to be asked in the interview. How to make a candidate selection decision. Evaluate the candidate on qualification, experience, interview. Assign points to qualification, experience, personality, skills of the candidate. Candidates selected should be notified as quickly as possible. Delay may result in losing the candidate. Unsuccessful candidates should be promptly notified. As the labor market becomes competitive, employers apply strategies from marketing to help them compete for job applicants. Just as companies develop a recognizable brand to help position their products and services in the market, they also attempt to brand themselves as an outstanding employer. Employer branding consists of promoting company as the employer of choice to a desired target group, one which a company needs and wants to attract, recruit and retain. Employee value proposition is the benefits which an employee receives in return for the knowledge, experience he or she brings to the company. Employer branding and EVP can improve an organization's image, increase the number of qualified applicants for job, reduce the turnover rate by giving current employees sense of pride and increase the overall workforce productivity. Yield ratios. Yield ratios help organizations decide how many candidates they need to recruit for each job opening. This ratio explains the relationship between number of applicants at one step of the recruiting process relative to the number of applicants who will move on to the next step. Example: a retailer company history of recruiting is mentioned. Invitation to interview ratio is 8:1. 8 applicants were invited for interview but only one candidate attended interview. It means to interview one candidate, 8 applicants must be invited. Interview to offer ratio is 6:1. 6 applicants were interviewed but only one candidate was offered job. It means for one job offer, 6 applicants must be interviewed. Offer to acceptance ratio is 3:1. 3 applicants were offered job, but only one candidate accepted the job. Overall yield ratio is 144:1. Organization must interview 144 candidates for one job offer acceptance. If the organization plans to hire 3 candidates, then they need to interview 432 candidates, so that minimum 3 candidates accept job offer. How to measure quality of hire. Recruiters must make sure that they have hired the right candidate. They can assess the quality of hire by certain measures according to the organizational standards. On-the-job performance. Relationship with team and supervisor. Ability to learn new things. Performance appraisal score. Organizational culture adaptability. These types of measures are useful because if the recruiters have hired incompetent candidate, they can make corrective measures to improve hiring process and modify job descriptions. Step 1. After management approval, a company will advertise job to receive job applications and relevant documents. Step 2. The HR team will screen and shortlist CVs. This may be a time-consuming process. Step 3. After shortlisting CVs, selected candidates are invited for interview. Step 4. Candidates are interviewed. This may be a time-consuming process. Some companies may conduct panel interviews to fasten interview process. Step 5. Candidates are evaluated and selected based on ratings. Step 6. Selected candidates are offered jobs, and job offer letter and agreement are signed by the candidate.